It's a day of celebration. Texas bill would require 10 commandments in public school classrooms. Yay! But I don't think it's enough. No, I want them all displayed. All 613 commandments must be displayed. It's the only logical thing to do. RRR already commented on this situation, and that's in the description as well as a link to this particular article about it. But enough wibble wobbling. I said, let's read all 613, and that's what I'm gonna do because why not? I'm not just gonna read all 613. Oh, no, no, no. I'm gonna comment on all 613. All right. This is also known as the mitzvah. Whatever. Mitzvot? I think I said that wrong. Don't care. Anyways, here's a list of the 600 commandments. He arranged them in a different order, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Now, some of them, he clarifies that there's affirmative commandments, there's negative commandments, there's commandments that only apply in Israel, and there's commandments that cannot be observed today because they're related to the temple. Now, I find that part interesting. See, God did not prepare ahead of time for the destruction of the temple. You would think he'd be like, hey, keep these commandments, but then when the temple gets destroyed, here's what you do instead. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here, but if I was God and I knew the future, I think I'd be like, hey, look, here's what's going to happen, all right? All right, anyways. But I demand that schools put up all 613 commandments in a large enough font for everybody to read. All right. Now, Jewish people don't like to spell out God, so they use a dash here because God doesn't know that it's being talked about or written about when you do that. Sneaky, sneaky. Use those little tricks to trick God. Anyway, so number one, to know God exists. Okay? So a couple, and it lists where that is. That's a commandment. Just know God exists. How do you know that? Doesn't matter. Just know it. That's the first commandment. That's the most important command of all time. Beyond, it could be like, hey, look, don't kill people. It could have been, not to set fire to cats, or, it could have been almost anything. But no, God exists. That's the most important thing. But again, just me. But if we had ample evidence of God, then that wouldn't even need to be a commandment, would it? If we existed every day of our life knowing that God existed without any doubt, like you just wake up, you open your window, you open your shades, you look outside, and there God is. Or maybe God's even in the room with you, just chilling out, hanging out in the corner. Or maybe you can even cuddle with God, when you go to sleep. So you wake up, there's God, he's there, and if you're like, look, I need some alone time, maybe he'll give you some space. But you can always just, hey, God, 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 and he'll come like running out, like he'll hide somewhere for you, whatever. Anyways, all right, so not to entertain the idea that there's any God but the eternal. So again, ignore that there could be other gods. This one's also, don't have any other gods before me. Because other gods do exist, but those gods, they're not eternal. Okay? Now I like number 3. Number 3 is really important to have in the classroom. That's the one, you gotta have that one, because we can't have blasphemy. Now, Britain. Oh yes, Great Britain. I think, I could be wrong, but I think they still have some blasphemy laws on that are active. Some of them are off, but some are still around. I think they haven't gotten rid of all of them. I think Canada also has some blasphemy laws, And there's other blasphemy laws around the world. In certain places in Afghanistan or Iraq or whatever. If you say Allah sucks titty balls, you probably get killed for that. Now, whether you being killed or not is legal. Who cares? You're not supposed to blaspheme. Poor God can't hurt. It'll hurt God's feelings. Don't make fun of God. Don't say bad thing with God. Also, the penalty is death. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Cool. But I think we need to go a little bit deeper by what they shall be put to death. If any, but now here's an interesting thing. If a party kills a human being, they'll be put to death. So, doesn't that mean that the people that kill the person that put the people to death also have to be killed? I don't know about that. But let me just check out the citation here real quick. I think that's pertinent. Pretty sure that's not how you say that word, but I don't care. Take the blasphemer outside the camp, or town, or city, whatever, and let all those who are within hearing lay their hands upon his head, and let the community leadership stone him. Yikes. Because it's stoning to death. That takes a while. And then, to the Israelite people, say this: anyone who blasphemes God shall bear the guilt. And anyone who pronounces the name shall be put to death. But you can't say the name, so I'm not really sure how you're supposed to say the part where you say don't say the name. It's like Voldemort. You're not supposed to say Voldemort. I don't know anything about Harry Potter, but you're not supposed to say it. So you say things like the name that shall not be spoken, or like it's like don't say the word Satan, or Satan might show up. Like you don't say the name. It's like the N word for the modern times. Like don't say nigger. Don't say the N word, because that will get you canceled or whatever. Like, don't say the N word or you'll be put to death. Never ever say Germania. Don't say that or else. But you can't say Germania, so you'd have to don't say the GM word, and everybody knows what that word is, right? Anyone that says it will be put to death. But then here's my problem: if you made it so that nobody can say the word or write the actual word, then people are going to start thinking the shorthand version of it is the word. And they'll be like, oh, but you just said the thing. Now you have to die. And no. That's not the act. And then they're dead. And it's like, okay, we're going to substitute a different word. It just keeps the cycle. And then since they killed somebody, then they have to be killed. So I'm not sure how any of this is supposed to work. Anyways, then they'll stone the person, stranger or citizen, having pronounced the name, shall be put to death. And then if any party kills any human being, that person shall be put to death. So, one who kills a beast shall make a restitution for it, life for life. So, then if you kill a beast, you have to kill another beast to take care of that first beast. But then, how does that? Anyways, okay. If a party maims another person, what was done shall be done in return. Fracture for fracture, eye for eye, tooth for tooth. The injury inflicted on a human shall be inflicted in return. That actually sounds, somewhat, decent in a way. So I imagine that if somebody rapes someone, then their punishment is to be raped by somebody. So, but what if they like it? I don't know, but again, just the perfect word of God. At any rate, to hallow God's name. Or to revere. I'm not sure that we need this, since we already said that we can't say anything bad about it, but we also have to make sure that we really love the name. Not to profane God's name. Didn't we already say that? We just did that in 3. But just in case you forgot, here's number 5. To know that God is one complete unity. Oh, okay. Why do you need to know that? Again, if God was clearly evident, we wouldn't need to have that as a commandment. We would just know it's true. Anyways, but of course, Number 7 is very important to love God. See? And you got to love God. It's not just good enough. See, it's a commandment to love God. Not to just, you shall love God with all your heart and with all your soul, with all your might. Teach it to your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you're away, when you lie down and get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand and let them serve a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. There you go. There's the. I'm reading the little citations there. I care to fear Him reverently. Not enough to love God, but also you got to be scared of God. Very important for children in Texas schools to know this, and really all schools everywhere. Let's just be honest. Everyone needs to know that these are the commandments. Now, I, as a skeptic, do have a problem with number 9. I got to admit, I don't like it. I think it's wrong. I think it's messed up. But it is the Word of God. So don't put the Word of God to the test, which means you can't test it. How do you know it's true? Good question. Yeah, but guess what? Not allowed to test it. Can't test it. So, there's this thing in the Bible later on, this whole story with Baal and God, and they actually do test God, and God actually wins. But you're not supposed to. But when it comes to the Word of God, you're not supposed to put that to the test. But here's the problem. So the text says that, right? But how do I know that the text is actually from God, right? So in order to know that the text is from God, I'd have to test it. Like I need to know the date that it was written, because I could write something now and just like say it was God, right? And isn't that kind of a problem? I'm just saying, like, uh, you know, let me just get my favorite program here going, just so I can illustrate my point here. Yeah, okay. All right. So see, God wrote this, right? Um, uh, D. Okay, well, just do it this way. All right. The converted man is right about everything, even star. Can't prove wrong. Okay, so see, God wrote that, right? And since it says you can't test what God wrote, right? That's what it said. It said not to put the word of God. This is the word word is singular, so I think that we have to say words of God. But anyways, this is the word of God. Or maybe word of God is just like the word is like bird, maybe. You're not supposed to test birds because isn't bird the word? Anyways, you're not supposed to test it. So therefore you can't know that that's not really what God wrote. So anybody could claim anything that God wrote because you're not allowed to test it. That's where my problem comes in. But again, I'm a pesky skeptic. Just my thought. I'm sure nobody would abuse that ever. Number 10. To imitate his good and upright ways. What good and upright ways? I don't know. It's just me, but I'm not seeing a lot of good and upright ways coming from God in the Bible. I do see a lot of evil stuff that God does, kills people and drowns people and turns people into salt. I don't know. Just saying. I think that I don't know how to do that. But again, very important that children everywhere understand all 613. And hey, it's only been 15 minutes and we're in 10. We've read 10. Oh God, what have I done to myself? Number 11, to honor the old and wise. I mean, I don't know. I guess. I don't know why you have to honor them. Like, what if they're crummy people? Like, what if they're really bad? Like, it's like an old pervert that's always looking at young people or whatever, but you have to honor them anyways, just because they're old. And they're like, well, what does it mean to be wise? So Now, do they have to be old and wise? So does that mean I don't have to honor the old and stupid? Or the young and wise? The young and wise I don't have to honor, right? Anyways, doesn't matter. Look, don't think too deeply. Let's learn the Torah and teach it. That's 12. Now, again, just me, I would think that number 12 would make more sense to be like number 1. Like, if you're not learning it and teaching it, then nothing else matters. Because, like, why wouldn't that be number 1 then? But I guess you just, again, God exists is really important. Okay, so why isn't this like number 2 then? Anyways. Cleave to those who know him. And you might be asking what the word cleave is. Not to add to the commandments of the Torah, whether it's written law or in its interpretation received by tradition. So don't add stuff. Doesn't matter if it's written or it's interpreted, like by tradition. Like, don't add to what the Torah says at all. Like, I don't know that you needed to clarify what you meant by that, but I am glad that you did. And I'm pretty sure Christians and Muslims and the Jehovah's Witnesses have all broken number 14. Oh well. And again, by the way, just so you know, the guy said that wrote all this down, these aren't in like order per se, like of where they show up. This is his order. So basically he has broken this commandment by changing up the order, I would say. I mean, he's not adding to it, but he is changing where it is. So isn't that kind of adding to it in a way? Like, if you change the order of where it appears in the Torah, isn't that a problem? I don't know. Anyways, don't take away commandments of the Torah. Yes, see, this is what the Texas lawmakers missed out on. By not including 15, really it should have been in the top 10, then, that would have, duh. They're taking away the commandments by not having all 613 listed. They're taking away from it. How dare they? How dare they? All right. Anyways, don't do that. And again, lots of people have. So, but and then this kind of goes back to the problem of not being allowed to test it, right? Because, like, how do you know that commandments weren't taken out if you're not, like, here's an older copy of the Torah and it has commandment blah. This newer copy doesn't have the commandment blah, but I'm not allowed to test it, so I don't know. Anyways, every person shall write a scroll of the Torah for himself. Wow, I didn't know you had to do that. That's like, now, I have a question. Now, do you mean with pen and paper, or like does typing, does that count? If I just Control C and Control V this, does that count? Does that count for me writing this thing for myself? Do women have to do this, or is it only men? I think himself. I think that means like we say mankind, we mean all. We mean all, everyone. We mean humanity, right? So I think that means anyone. But what does it mean to write? Like, I don't know. I would like some clarification on that. What does that mean? But wait a minute. Doesn't that mean if you copy the 10 Commandments, which they did, and put them on a wall in the Texas schoolrooms like they're going to do, doesn't that mean that every kid should have to write the 10 Commandments for themselves? But not just the 10, the scroll of the Torah, like the whole damn Torah, like, or just how long is a scroll? Like, I don't know, but then how do you write it if you're not allowed to write the name of God, or can you write the name of God? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Anyway, circumcise male offspring. Oh, shoot. Yes, that is why your penis, it looks the way it does, guys in America. And sadly, other places as well. More than likely, you. This is why. This is why. Now, I don't know why this was adopted by non-Jews. How it became such a prevalent thing in both that it transversed from Judaism to Christianity, and then to the point where doctors just automatically do it to boys unless the parent specifically tells them don't do that. We don't allow this happen to women, to girls, but boys still get their little foreskins removed pretty much automatically unless you tell the doctor to not do it. Why? There's no medical reason to do it in like almost every case. It decreases sensation, can lead to other problems, but we do it. Why? Because it said to do it in the Bible, I guess. But why do we do it in the medical profession? I thought the doctors said to do no harm. So why are they doing this still? I don't know. Just a question I'm putting out there. Anyways, to put what the fuck is that? Tizzy tat? Oh my god, how do you pronounce this word? Tzitz. Tizzit. To put tizzit on the corners of clothing. See tizzit and taliot. Okay, I guess I'll do that. Holy shit. Oh, it's a little. Okay, that's what it is. All right. Now I know what the hell they're talking about. So this is like this stuff. Like that's what that is. Like that right there. That's what it is. Oh shit. Here we go. This right here. Okay, let's get that. Come on. All right. So put this. Oh shit! Stop. Get over there so I can show what it looks like. Put that on the corners of clothing. Now, I got another clarification question to ask. What the hell do you mean by the corners of clothing? Like, where's the corner? What do you mean? What is the shirt? Like, how? What's a corner? What do you mean by that? Well, whatever. Anyways, they need to do that. So, you need to do that though. Why? You just need to do it. Wonder what happens if you don't. Let's see. Instruct them. So say to the Israelite people, instruct them make for themselves fringes on the corner of their garments throughout the ages. Let them attach a cord of blue to the fringe of each corner. That shall be your fringe. Look at it and recall all the commandments of God and observe them, so that you do not follow your heart and eyes and your lustful urge. Thus you'll be reminded to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I'm your God. I brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I, God, your God. Although that the whole bringing out of Egypt thing didn't happen. But that's all right. Anyway, so where are some of those tiz tats? And then bind tefillin on the head. What the fuck is tefillin? Oh, god damn it. What is it? Oh my god, it's another thing we have to wear. Okay, I guess I'll show what this looks like. Alright, that. Whatever the fuck that is. Put that. Alright. It's like, what? It's like the words. What? Bind your arms and foreheads. Leather pouches containing scrolls of Torah passages. Okay, so you have to literally carry around a miniature Torah. Oh my god, look at this guy. Look at this. Look at this. It doesn't look comfortable. Alright. Anyways, do that. That's really important. So I can imagine that being new dress code in these Texas schools now. Because, I mean, that's what you just have to do. Also, put it on the arm. It's not enough just to be on your head. Put it on your arm as well. Anyways, and then fix the mesvah to the doorposts and gates of your house. All right. Well, we got to. It's not enough that it's in the schools. You got to put it outside your doorposts and gates of your house. That's what it says. Now you might be saying, "What do you mean? What the hell is a mitzvah? You mean like what is that? It's another damn symbol thing that you got to do." Yep. So we're going to have to show this severance screen again. Here we go. All right. So this thing, that's that. You need that. Put that around. That's what you got to do. Why? Because God said to do it. Why? Just shut up. All right. Pray to God. That's a commandment. Do it. Pray to God. Do it. Do it right now. I'm going to put that on blast. Hey, Mr. L, you said you don't want that on your clothes, you sinner. You sinning sinner. Mr. L, pray to God right now. Do it. Pray. I want to see a prayer type in chat. So if you don't put that in chat, then you're guilty of not following the 22nd commandment. We're gonna pray that we're gonna pretend that it's actually the 22nd commandment. We don't know the order anymore. It doesn't matter. Anyways, so do it now. Where's my prayer, Mr. L? Post a prayer in chat. I don't see it. Okay, fine. Mr. L is AFK now. Somebody post a prayer in chat. God demands it. Anyways, all right. Well, we're waiting for that to happen. Read the Shema in the morning and at night. Oh my God, what the hell's the Shema? Oh, the Shema is only one of true prayers specifically commanded in the Torah. God. Oh my God. So, yeah, I mean, that's a lot of work. You have to pray that in the morning and at night. Man, exhausting. How much time are you wasting on God? God is so needy. Read it. Read it in the morning and at night. Do you need to read it out loud or in your head? Like, how do you, like, wait. I'll pray to God when hell freezes over. Oh, wait, hell isn't real. LOL. Okay, so Mr. L prayed that to God. That's what I'm saying. He told God right now that he'll pray to God when hell freezes over, and then says hell isn't real, and then laughed out loud at God. That was Mr. L's prayer to God. There you go. Didn't say it had to be a good prayer. Haha, we found a loophole. What am I doing here? All right, read the Shema. We did that. To recite grace after meals. Oh my, after the meal? Wouldn't you say it before the meal? We always did it before the meal. We're like, thank you, God, for the food we're gonna eat. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, but you do. I mean, you do it after the meal. Okay. Anyways, now again, if I was writing this, I'd be like, and clean the dishes after meals. That'd be a decent command. I could get behind that command. I wouldn't want to do it, but anyways, not to lay down a stone for worship. What the hell does that mean? I mean, what? Huh? You shall not make idols for yourselves, or set up yourselves carved images or pillars, or place figured stones in your land to worship them. Okay, that's what that's talking about. Don't make idols, people. Wait a minute. Does that mean in God we trust on the money? Isn't that breaking that commandment, kind of? Like, in fact, isn't putting up the 10 commandments in schools also a thing that you could say is being worshipped in a way? I don't know. Seems to me like we're breaking all sorts of commands here. Holy shit. 26. To love all human beings who are of the covenant. All right. So if you're not part of our thing, fuck you. If you're not part of the covenant, that means you're not like a Jewish person, I guess. Then you're not getting loved. So, yeah, screw you. I'm not loving you. All right. Not to stand by idly when the human life is in danger. Hey, that sounds actually good. I don't know. That could have been like number one, you know? Now, to be fair to me and not to it, it's not really clear on what you're supposed to do as long as you're not standing idly by. So I guess, technically, you could take out some balls and juggle them. As long as you're doing something, you know, it's like, hey, that guy's dying over there. What are you doing? Juggling. Why? I'm not idling. You know, I'm not, you know, I'm juggling. I'm doing something. Now, maybe you're supposed to do something, and I should click on the thing to see what you're supposed to do. That means opening another window, and then you can't see the window unless I share it, and it's a whole thing. So difficult. Wait a minute, slides. What the hell is that? I don't know how that works. What's it say? Let's see. Let's see. No, it doesn't really say. Doesn't really clarify that one. Oh well, not to wrong anyone in speech. Well, we fucking do that all the fucking time, don't we? You know, I don't know. Like, what does it mean to wrong somebody in speech? Like, does that mean if I'm like, hey, God equals the square root of -1, God has worms? Screw you! Have I wronged them in speech? What does it mean to be wronged in speech? I don't know. Anyways, but that actually sounds like a thing that we already have a law about. Kind of. But why is this all the way down in 28? Again, these aren't in order, but whatever. Not gonna do that. I mean, it's definitely not in the top 10. Anyways, not to carry tails. Or Sonic, for that matter. What the hell are you talking about? What the hell are you talking about? What do you mean? You see. Tailbearer. Oh, gossip. Okay, there you go. It's gossip. Don't gossip. Oh my god, like, yeah. Anyways, not to cherish hatred in one's heart. Yeah, so don't like that you hate people and stuff. Okay, yeah. I can get behind some of these. Like these are fine. Like, why weren't these in the top 10? Not to bear a grudge. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess to some degree. I don't know. I think it should be a little bit flexible. But again, these could have been in the top 10 commandments. They're all the way down here though. Now this one probably gonna get canceled for this, but fuck the Jews. There you go. I just did it. I did it to every Jew. All right. I don't know. Saying fuck the Jews, I don't think that that's putting them to shame. Like, that's just saying fuck the Jews. Like, how do you put someone to shame? Shame. You wiggle your finger at them. Shame, Jew. Shame on you. Shame on you. Nya. Bad Jew. Bad Jew. I don't know. I am completely canceled now. This stream is being marked as hate speech even as I speak. Oh well, not to curse any other Israelite, but if they're not an Israelite, curse the hell out of them. Now, curse can mean any number of things. It means literally swearing, or it like, that like you're putting an actual curse on them. Anyways, and then you may not curse those who cannot hear, and you may not curse those who can, but that's by implication. Now, is it saying that this is by implication adding to the Torah? Just asking. Anyways, whatever. Now, all right. Not to give occasion to the simple-minded to stumble on the road. Now, what this means is don't trip retards. That's what that means. Now, you might say that I'm kind of crude for just saying the word retard like that, but I've broken every other law of speech, so why not this one? Earlier in the stream I said the N word. You might have missed it, but I'm bringing it up again. Whee! Anyways, okay, so I guess that's what it means. I don't know. Again, it's not really clear. I'm making fun of all this, by the way. That's why I'm using crude language. It's all supposed to be fun and funny. It's all jokes. Please don't cancel me. I actually hate speech. Alright, so it says you don't insult the deaf. Oh, no, it does say that in the text. Don't insult the deaf or place a stumbling block before the blind. So, yeah, just don't mess with people that can't, that don't have, leave the disabled. Help out the disabled people. That might be a better way to phrase this instead of like, don't, screw with them, but also like you can say, hey, help out the handicap and also don't screw with them. I don't know. Rebuke the sinner. Bad sinner. To relieve a neighbor of their burden, to help unload the beast, or in this case, cars. Like, so you see your neighbor like taking out groceries. Hey, I gotta help you. Okay. I'm not allowed to not help you. I have to help you. What if we hate bad things? You're not allowed to hate in your heart. So stop hating, even if it's bad stuff. Stop hating that too. Yeah, if you think deeply about any of this stuff, it starts to not make sense. So it's better to not think about it. Oh, God. To assist in replacing the load upon a neighbor's beast. So this kind of goes hand in hand with this. Honestly, I think you could have dealt with it in one command instead of two. Help people load and unload their vehicles or whatever. Hmm. Now, this is about roadside assistance today. Not leave a beast that's fallen down beneath its burden unaided. So if you see a car on the side of the road, don't just leave it there. Like, call a tow truck or something. I know it doesn't say that, but we don't use beasts anymore. So don't we have to kind of update it for the modern day? Oh no, we're not allowed to update it. So if you see a car on the side of the road, fuck it. It's not a beast. Let it be. All right. Not to afflict an orphan or a widow. And then actually, I know what this actually says. It says help out orphans and widows. In fact, this is actually a fun tangent that I'm going to go on. You might be like, oh God, deconverted man, please don't go on a tangent. You're trying to read all 613 commandments. If you go on a tangent, deconverted man, we'll be here all day. Anyways, actually, there is like a promise from God, okay, that if you help an orphan and or widow, like you will like get money, basically. Now I want to make sure that I'm correct about it, or let's see. You shall not treat any order or with them. If you do mistreat them, anger will bear forth, and your own wife. So if you do mess with the widows, then your wives become widows and your children orphans. Wait, why would so you would die, but why would your children become orphans? Can't they be with the mom? Oh well, anyways. Okay, it's not here, but there's somewhere, and I'll have to find it at some point. You'll just have to believe me for now. You know what? You're not gonna believe me. Let's see. Money promised if help orphans. Uh, Bible. I know it's in there. Let's see. Let's see. Come on. I know there's a thing. I know there's a thing. I'm not gonna find it now. Whatever. Anyways, look, I'm pretty sure it's in there. Whatever. But the idea that I had was like, hey, couldn't you set up a charity to help the orphans and the widows? And then if you donate any money to that charity, then you get money, right? So it's like infinite free money. All you have to do is like donate once to that charity, and then you get money, and then you keep donating to the charity, and you keep getting money from God. So like, but apparently it doesn't really work in reality. So you can't do it. Anyways, don't reap the entire field. So this is actually interesting. There was like a thing that was like saying like the way that we currently do our crops screws up how to like they have to keep replenishing the dirt and like the nutrients in the dirt and stuff. But if they left some of the field alone, they wouldn't have to do that. There are other ways to do it besides, you know, leaving some of the field alone. But there is something potentially to this. Like there is a good reason for it. Like they figured it out, like leaving part of their field alone, like let that field keep growing, then you cut down that field and you let the other one grow, right? So it actually like they might have actually stumbled onto something that is actually demonstrably demonstratable in science these days by complete accident, and then they made it into a law to kind of like say, well, maybe you're leaving that part for God or whatever, but you're rotating the field and it's an order to do it because whatever. But like there might be a legitimate reason to actually do this in reality. So hey, props to you. You figured out something, but we're not doing that today because we just go no, like we need to mow the whole thing down. And I guess it's just easier to like put in new dirt than it is to save some grain aside or something. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a farmer, so I could be completely wrong about all this. Anyways, to leave the unreaped corner of the field for the poor. Yeah. Okay, so again, if you're a farmer, now this doesn't see this is weird too because like do you have a field? I know I don't. Like I don't have enough space for a field. Like I have a space enough for maybe I don't know even know how much space I would have for some veggies or whatever. But I go pick them right, and then I leave like one corner that says for the poor. Like, do you see any farmer anywhere do this ever? No. So and I don't know of any Jewish farmer, but why aren't they doing this? How would this work in America? Is now Texas? I don't know how many farms there are in Texas, but doesn't that mean that the farmers in Texas have to obey this since we're putting it up in classrooms? I don't know. Just asking questions how this works, or if anyone actually does it. Oh God! Not to gather gleanings. What the fuck? The ears that have fallen to the ground will reaping. Well, why? I mean, that just seems wasteful. See, just like if you don't grab it before it falls to the ground, then leave it on the ground. But most of our machines like grab everything. So this doesn't even apply anymore. Anyways, leave it for the poor. So anything that like fell down that you didn't pick right, that's for the poor as well. But like, do you label it? Do you like leave it just where it is, or do you pick it up and put it in the corner where the poor know to go get it? Because like if they're just in your field, they're looking for the gleanings, right? Isn't that a problem? Like you'd be like, hey, what are you doing in my field? I'm trying to get the gleanings. How do I know you're not getting the good stuff? No, really, I promise, I'm getting the gleanings. Not to gather whatever the fuck that Olaf, the imperfect clusters of the vineyard. Why not? I mean, wouldn't that make wine just as well as anything? Oh, well, who cares? To leave it for the poor. Oh, okay. So the imperfect shit that we don't like, leave it for the poor. Now, we do this, kind of, in modern society. Like, you go to the store, you see all the nice apples. You never see the crappy apples. Where did all those crappy apples go? Well, I don't know. Do they go to the poor? Do we destroy them? No, we feed them to livestock, pretty much. So, I mean, we're kind of doing this, I guess. Anyways, not to gather, what the fuck, Perit grapes that have fallen to the ground. You already said that. You already said this. Why are you repeating yourself? Oh my God. Then use it, then leave it for the poor. Okay, whatever. We got it. All right. I mean, all this was covered in this. Oh, jeez. Not to return or take a forgotten sheaf. This applies to all fruit trees. What the fuck is a forgotten sheaf? Oh, God damn it. When you reap the harvest in your field and overlook a sheaf in the field, do not turn back to get it. It goes to the stranger. Okay, so if you forget to get something, too bad. But again, modern day, our machines like grab every fucking thing, so we ain't leaving nothing for the poor, I guess. Doesn't seem like you had a contingency plan there, God. Oh, well, anyways. Leave it for the poor. You just said that. I mean, not to refrain from maintaining a poor man and giving him what he needs. Well, I mean, you're already leaving all this stuff behind for the poor, but also just help the poor, which I'm pretty sure you said earlier, but I don't know. To give charity according to one's means. Okay, that's pretty good. Why wasn't that in the top 10? Oh, well. Love the stranger. Oh, okay. Finally, we get to loving the stranger. Remember, like way earlier, it was like love. You know, whatever the Israelites or whatever. So finally, we're like, oh yeah, and the stranger. Don't wrong them in speech. Okay, I mean, like, didn't wasn't this kind of already covered? You already said not to do this, but that only applied to people that were part of your group. So I don't know. Could have just said, "Don't wrong anybody." Just I don't know. Anyways, don't wrong them in buying or selling. Don't rip them off. Not to intermarry with Gentiles. Oh shit. So that means if you're Jewish, can't marry a non-Jew. Now, some Christians also do this. They think that you're not supposed to marry non-Christians. So yeah. Um, but here's the problem. What if the only non-Gentile around is your cousin? Anyways, now this one's actually really interesting to me because I didn't know that God knew about aliens, but apparently he did. So to exact the debt of an alien, amazing. I don't even think I need to explain that one by looking at what it means because we all understand what that's talking about. To lend to an alien at interest. So there you go. Make sure those aliens lend money, but at interest. Now, what interest rate? I don't know. 1%, 5% financing? Not sure. But if they're an alien from outer space, gotta lend them money. I don't know why aliens would need money, but now is it just like immediately? Hi, alien, how's it going? Here's $5. Gotta pay me back $10 eventually. What? Don't worry about it. I'm just following the commandments. Anyways, to honor the father and mother. Hey, we actually recognize that one. That's in the top 10, isn't it? Anyways, not to smite a father or mother, unless, of course, they break one of the commandments, then you absolutely kill them. Don't curse them, okay? To reverently fear them, okay. Be fruitful and multiply. Have lots of sex, lots of kids. Got it. The eunuch shall not marry a daughter of Israel. So if you don't have a penis and balls or a vagina, you can't marry a daughter. Well, I guess this only applies to men because they're marrying a girl. They didn't have the idea of like men marrying men and women marrying women back in that day. So if you don't have a penis and balls, I think eunuchs don't have either. Pretty sure. I know they have one of them chopped off for sure. Anyways, don't marry. You can't marry. Why? Because you can't have kids. Obviously, duh. Anyways, that now I don't know how many eunuchs they had running around or why they would want to marry anyways. That a misver shall not marry the daughter of a Jew. Now, what's a mamzer? Well, that's a good question. That an Amenite or Moabite shall never marry the daughter of an Israelite. Oh man, god damn, daughters cannot get married to a bunch of people. Anyways, you're probably wondering what that is. Good question. Not going to answer it. Not to exclude the dissident of whatever fucking shit from community of Israel for 3 generations. What? Not to exclude a descendant of Esau from the community of Israel for 3 generations. So, like, could you do 2.5 generations then? What is this talking about? I don't know. Anyways, not to exclude an Egyptian from the community of Israel for 3 generations. So I guess like this is like if they broke a law and you ban them from your place, like you're not allowed to ban them indefinitely or whatever. There are fish head salad earlier. There are 525 more of these silly laws left. I did not have the time. How many of these apply to today's societies? Who gives a shit about goats, cattle, and women who these guys think are their bitches? Well, it's a good question, fish head salad. And the answer is don't question the Bible. Just follow all of it, even the parts we can't follow. We're supposed to follow all 613 commandments, not just the top 10. Stop asking questions. Just do it. Doesn't make sense. Just do it. Anyways, no harlots in Israel. So there shall be no intercourse with a woman without previous marriage, with the deed of marriage and a formal declaration of marriage. So don't have sex unless you're married. That's no fun. Take a wife by Kiddushin, the sacrament of marriage. Well, didn't you already say you're not allowed to have sex without marriage? I mean, you're just saying. I guess you're just trying to clarify it, I guess, but it kind of sucks how you did it. The newly married husband shall be free for 1 year to rejoice with his wife. Wow. So basically, enshrined in Jewish law, ladies and gentlemen, enshrined in Jewish law, you get a year off from work. You get 1 year to have sex with your wife. 1 year. Then after that, I don't know, you go back to whatever the hell you were doing. But you have 1 year to bone the hell out of her. Now, you do have to be careful because the Bible is really picky about messing with her when she's on her period. They don't like that at all. And kind of gross. You know, not kink shaming. I'm not going to say I didn't do that maybe once or twice, but if I did do it, I know that I would have regretted it and probably did regret it. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it, but if you do it, it's kind of gross and it's not going to feel that good. So probably don't do it. Why do it more than once if you did it once and it didn't feel good the first time? Well, hypothetically, if one had done it, it would have been because one was super horny and they forgot that it was like gross and yucky and they did it again. And then they're like, oh yeah, this was a mistake. I shouldn't do this. And then like the next time, maybe there was 3 times. I don't know. And they forgot again. I don't know. They're kind of stupid. That's all I'm saying. But none of that really happened. And I'm not talking about it. Anyways, so have a year of sex with your wife. Okay. All right. Bridegroom shall be exempt for a whole year for taking part in public labor. I just said all that shit. I just said that you get a year off. But also the woman gets a year off, I guess. Anyways, not to withhold food, clothing, or conjugal rights from a wife. That seems good. I mean, yeah. Oh, here we go. Now, I've done a video about this. The woman suspected of adultery shall be dealt with as prescribed in the Torah. Well, no, I didn't do a video on this. I did a video of how to deal with somebody that you think cheated on you. But anyways, you know how to deal with them, right? Oh yeah, that's right. Stoning. No, I did. Oh no, I did do a video about this. Oh yeah. I totally did a video on this. No, I was wrong. I was right the first time when I said I did a video on this. Let's see. What did I call that video? Poison. I don't know. What the fuck did I call it? Women. Woman. I don't know. Woman. Abortion. What the hell did I name it? Fuck me. Yeah. Bible. What did I name it? Yeah, there it is. I found it. I found it. I'm awesome. I'm amazing. I know it. All right, here we go. That's the video I did on this already. Did a video about it. Check it out. This is how that works. This is how, like, I have an entire video that shows how to deal with a woman suspected of adultery. Don't have to actually know if she did it. Just follow the video. It's really clear. Okay. All right. Spoiler notes. Basically, you're giving them an abortion if they're guilty. But at least you're not killing them. Unless you do kill them. Then I don't know. Anyways, one that defames his wife's honor by falsely accusing her of unchastity before marriage must live with her all his lifetime. Okay. Now, I got some questions here. Okay. So, you're already married, but then you say, you had sex before marriage, but now that you said that, then you're stuck with her for your entire life. So why would you ever say that? Even if she was guilty. Like, but then it's only, oh God, whatever. Man may not divorce his wife who he has published an evil report about her unchastity. Okay, I get it. So if you go to divorce your wife because you're claiming that she had sex before marriage, but but she is actually innocent of that, you have to stay married to her. And I'm sure that she is perfectly happy to stay with the guy that falsely accused her of that. We're not going to cover what the woman might want at all, but to divorce by a formal written document. Well, I mean, duh. I mean, how else are you going to divorce somebody? That the one who divorced his wife shall not remarry her. Really? If after the divorce she has been married to another man. Okay, so after I divorce the bitch, if she marries somebody else, I can't then remarry the bitch, but she's already married to somebody else. So I guess she'd have to divorce that guy, but I'm not allowed to remarry her. Why not? What if I really liked her? You know. Anyways, don't do it. Now, what if it's the other way around? Like, can a woman marry a guy that married a different woman? Oh, it doesn't cover that at all. A widow whose husband died childless must not be married to anyone but her deceased husband's brother. Holy fuck. So, okay. All right. So, what if you don't have a brother? What happens then? But here's the thing. Okay, just imagine it. This is a law. Let's just imagine this was a law in Texas, because all these, we need to post all this up in Texas schools and shit. So they might as well be all laws, in my view. So any woman who is married but her husband dies and she doesn't have children has to then marry that dude's brother. What if that dude's brother is like 16? I don't know. She has to get married. Don't matter. I guess it doesn't say ages. Doesn't. I don't know. This could cause some problems. But again, this is the will of God, who's perfect, so we have to do it. Doesn't matter if it makes sense or not. Marry the widow of her brother who's died childless. You just said that. Stop repeating yourself. Widow formally release the brother-in-law if he refuses to marry her. Oh. Okay, so the brother can say no to the marriage. But now, what if, okay, so she has to do it unless he says no. Okay, let me restate. She has to get married to the guy unless the guy says no. She doesn't get a choice. Wow. Amazing. Oh my God, forbidden sexual relations. Whew. Okay, I'm just taking a break here. Hold on. All right, let's take a moment here. All right, remember now, friends that have joined me, if you're just now joining me, I'm reading all 613 commandments because 10 of them are displayed in public schools in Texas by law, or will be. And I don't think that's enough. I say all 613 need to be posted. And further, all 613 should be law, even if they don't make sense. And even if we can't do them anymore, rebuild the temple so we can redo all the things. Doesn't matter if they don't make sense. Doesn't matter if it screws the women over. It don't matter. We're gonna stone people to death at the edge of town. We're gonna help people with their burdens, beasts of burdens. Even though we're gonna stop using cars and start using beasts of burden again. And we're gonna apply these fucking laws no matter what. That's what we're gonna do because it only makes sense. We have to do it, but only in Texas. I guess eventually we'll get around to doing it everywhere, but let's start with Texas. Yay, Texas! I better get like at least +1 sub for this stupidity I'm doing. All right. Where am I? Yeah, okay. Don't indulge with familiarities with relatives. Just kissing, embracing, winking, skip. No skipping with your sister, which may lead to incest. Oh man. Well, I gotta delete that website, I guess. Not to commit incest with one's mother. Well, did you just say this? I mean, okay. Not to commit sodomy with one's father. Did you just. Not to commit incest with one's father's wife. So even if she's not your mom, don't have sex with her. But then that's not incest. Like if she's your stepmom, just saying. Don't commit incest with your sister. Don't commit incest with one's father's wife's daughter. Wouldn't that be your sister? But not necessarily. It could be your step sister, I guess. But I'm just saying, look, if she's not related to you by blood, I'm just saying, what if she gets stuck in the drying machine? Not to commit incest with one's son's daughter. Oh man. But then that's like your granddaughter. So that at least, that's still, just say don't do incest. Wouldn't that cover all of it? Not to commit incest with one's daughter's daughter. Don't fuck your granddaughter. Okay. Now, what about your son's son? Are you allowed to have sex with your son's son, your grandson? Is that allowed? Didn't say no. So, if it doesn't say I can't do it, then I guess I can. You better say it all. See, because you didn't just say don't commit incest and leave it there and decided that you needed to go in deeper and explain each type of incest I'm not allowed to do. What about the daughter? Like my great-great-granddaughter. Can I have incest with her? You didn't say I couldn't. So if I live long enough, oh yeah. Anyways, no. Not to commit incest with one's daughter. It already said that. Or father's sister, or mother's sister, or father's brother's wife, or don't commit sodomy with one's father's brother, don't commit incest with one's son's wife, brother's wife, wife's daughter, daughter of one's son, daughter of wife's daughter, of one's wife's daughter, one's wife's sister's daughter's former cousin's last roommate. Don't have intercourse with a woman in her menstrual period. God damn it! I fucked that one up a while ago. Oh shit, I'm supposed to talk about that. Don't have intercourse with another man's wife. Don't commit sodomy with a male. Aw, man. Okay, so now, all right. This is very, very tricky because some people, I've been told, like to put it in the butt. And some people, I'm told, are guys that happen to like guys and they decide that they're going to put it in the butt. If you're Jewish, you're not allowed to do that. Only 60-90. That's it. I'm sorry. If you are gay, according to Judaism, and you're a Jew, and again, we're putting this up everywhere in Texas, so I guess it's for everybody now. From now on, only 69. No backdoor shenanigans. Don't go in the pooper, only in the talker. Okay? It doesn't say you're not allowed to have oral. It just says no sodomy. Okay? I know it's one less hole, but it is what it is. I didn't make the rules. I'm just saying they're now enforced everywhere in Texas because we're putting these up in the classroom. That's all I'm saying. All right? Now, you might ask, why did God put the thing in the butt that made it feel good when you have sex in the butt if God didn't want us to have sex in the butt? And the answer to that is, don't have intercourse with a beast. So, don't fuck animals. Adam. Adam. Hello, Adam. Woman also can't have intercourse with the beast. I don't know. It's just, again, kind of repetitive. I thought this was already covered, but we're making sure. So, don't have intercourse with the beast. Also, women don't have intercourse with the beast. Like, just saying. Just like, men don't do it, but women also don't do it. Even though everyone don't do it, but also women don't do it. Not to castrate the male of any species, neither a man nor domestic wild beast or a fowl. But you can castrate people with the circumcision or castrate. What the hell is castrate? What the hell? Is that cutting the thing off? What's the. Okay. Okay, no, this is okay. This is a little bit different in the actual like Leviticus 22:24 that I click on, right? It's more like don't offer ox or sheep with the limb extended or contracted for a vow. Don't offer with his testes bruised or crushed or torn or cut. So, like, this is mostly like in reference to offering them for a sacrifice for God. Not sure that you're not allowed, but we spay and neuter our cats and dogs all the time now. So I guess if we're gonna put this into law, no more of that. Well, wait a minute. It does say the male, so I guess we could still neuter the female of the species. Doesn't say we can't. So castrate away the female of the species. Woo! All right, now let me check with chat here, see what's going on here. Boogie in the Butt, Eddie Murphy, YouTube it. Great, thanks. Maybe after I'm done reading all this stupid stuff. We're almost done. Oh God, no, we're not. I just realized this is 107. There's 613. Okay, now I know I said I was going to read them all, and in fact, that's the name of the video. But hear me out. I might not do it. I might get to 200 and quit. I might not even get to 200 and then say, you know what? I think I need a break and come back and do this again. And then I can always change the name of the video. But now I've said the name of the video is Let's Read All 613 Commandments. They should all be put up in schools. That was the original name of the video. And by saying that, I fucked myself more. Which, wait a minute, it didn't say I'm not allowed to fuck myself in here. So is that okay? Like one day we'll invent portal technology and then you'll really be able to fuck yourself. But the Bible doesn't say that that's wrong. Anyways, don't have incest and don't fuck animals. Yeah, all right. What about insects? It didn't say that you couldn't try to have sex with an insect. Are frogs animals? Asking for a friend. Like, what do they think animals are? I'm just wondering what I can have sex with. That's what I want to know. What about a tree? If a tree has a hole in it, can I try to have sex with a tree? Doesn't say I can't. And you know, if you try to have sex with a tree, you will get wood. I think everyone's abandoned me at this point. I've got 0 viewers right now. I don't blame you. I would have quit. I'm like, oh my God, why is Deacon Vermin reading all these laws? Because they're in Texas. Oh God, I don't want to read anymore. All right, I'm gonna get to the bottom of the page. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get to the bottom. Then I'm gonna stop for now. I think, yeah, that's what I'll do. All right. New month shall be fuck me. That the new month shall be solemnly proclaimed as holy, and the months and years shall be calculated by the Supreme Court only. What does that mean? But what's the new month? Like, isn't every month a new? Okay, whatever. Not to travel on the Shibbet outside the limits of one place of residence. Don't go out on Saturday evening, whatever. Sanctify the Shabbat, holy day. Don't do work. They got a shit ton of machines that like have timers on them now. Rest on Shibbet. You already said that. Celebrate the festivals, Passovers, blah blah blah. Rejoice in the festivals. What if you don't feel like it? Well, appear in the sanctuary on the festivals. Remove the chametz on the eve of Passover. So that's when you're supposed. The thing that they told you to wear before, don't wear it during Passover. Rest on the first day of Passover. Not to work on the first day of Passover. Rest on the seventh day of Passover. Don't work on the seventh day of Passover. Eat matzah on the first night of Passover. No chametz be in the Israelites' possession during Passover. Don't have it. Sell it sell it before Passover. Don't own it. Like, you can't have it. I don't know where you're supposed to put it, but don't have it. Don't eat food containing chametz on Passover. It's all got to be bland food, I guess, whatever. Don't eat chametz on the Passover. Chametz shall not be seen in Israel's home during Passover. What the fuck is a chametz? What the fuck is chametz? I gotta look up what chametz is. What is it? Foods with leveling agents that are forbidden on the Jewish holiday of Passover. It cannot eat or benefit from them. So don't have bread that, I guess, basically, unless it's like flatbread. Why? I don't know. To discuss the departure from Egypt on the first night of Passover. You have to talk about the shit. Don't eat chametz. Oh, God. On the midday on the 14th of Nisan, whatever. Count 49 days from time of cutting the momer. What the fuck? Rest on the whatever the fuck that is. Don't work on that day. Rest on the whatever that day is. Don't do work on that day. Oh my God, they got a lot of days off. Hear the sound of a shofar on the Rosh. What the fuck? And then to feast on Yom Kippur. Not to eat or drink on Yom Kippur. That's what it means to fast. So don't work on it. To rest at it. To rest on the first day of Shokola, whatever. Don't do work on the first day of whatever. Rest on the 8th day of that. Oh, God. Not to work on the 8th day of it. Whatever the hell. To take during a palm branch and other 3 plants. Fuck. To dwell in the booths 7 days during the Shalach. All right. Dietary laws. That's it. I'm done. I'm done with diet. I'm done here. That's it. I can't keep going. 200. Get to 200. All right. Listen, I got one viewer. It's Fish Head Salad. Why is Fish Head listening to me read this? I don't know, man. Maybe he's like me. It's a glutton for punishment. He wants to see how crazy I will get as I try to read out these nonsense laws. That all of them are from God. They all apply to the Jews, even the ones that they can't do anymore. But and the ones that they don't do because, like, we don't have beast of burden. And there's all sorts of ways around it, and like you can't commit incest with certain members of your family if it didn't list it, I guess. Okay. All right. 643. All right. I don't know that I can get to 200. I don't know if I can do it. I just have to pace myself. I have to, like, psych myself up. Why was I reading this again? Oh, right. Texas said we have to put up 10 commandments in the schools. But I want 613. All right. If I make it to 200, like, that's kind of cool. Right? I think that making it to 200, at least then I know that I only have 413 more to go. To examine the marks in cattle so you can distinguish the clean from the unclean, because like God made both clean and unclean animals. It's stupid. Don't eat the flesh of unclean beasts. Examine the marks in fishes. Same thing. Don't eat the unclean fish. Don't do anything with the unclean anything. Examine the marks of fowl. Oh God. Don't eat unclean fowl. Examine the marks in locusts. Because why would you eat? Do you eat locusts? Don't eat don't eat worms found in fruit. Why would you eat a worm anyways? Don't see it just says don't eat it anyways. Don't eat things that creep upon the earth. You mean don't eat bugs? Nowadays people are like going crazy eating grasshoppers and stuff. I don't know, man. Don't eat any vermin of the earth, like rats or whatever. Now, some of these laws, like those were laws because they didn't have ways to like take care of shit back in those days. They had more problems with diseases. So there's actually a reason behind some of these laws, like an actual coherent reason. They're not all just bullshit. Most of them are bullshit, but not all. Don't eat things that swarm in the water. Okay. So piranhas? I don't know. Don't eat winged insects. I thought you already said don't eat like bugs. So whatever. Don't eat the flesh of a beast that is whatever lit torn. Whatever. Don't eat the flesh of a beast that died of itself. The fuck? Oh, because they have to be cut in a certain way. It's kosher. Yeah, if you ever see like kosher, it's a whole thing. Like, oh my god, it's such a thing. It's so insane. To slay cattle, deer, and fowl according to the laws of the Shurkoff, if their flesh is to be eaten, as I've commanded in this versus to kosher slaughtering. So, fun note about this: if you want to go get kosher beef or whatever, so there has to be there's like strict laws that regulate this shit. Like they take this stuff seriously. The Jews, they have a rabbi that's like at the slaughtering house. That's like his job to make sure that the animals get killed the right way. And it's like they have to slit their throat like aimed in a certain direction and drain it out in a certain way, blah blah blah, and prepare it a certain way, or it's not going to be fucking kosher. So it's going to cost you more. But the other thing is that way of killing an animal is not nice for the animal. Like we have figured out way better ways to kill animals before we make them into food. But the way that the kosher does is very inhumane as far as it's not nice to the animals. Like I guess you could argue killing animals is bad or whatever, but like there's different ways. Like slicing their throat and letting them bleed to death. That's pretty messed up. Whereas you could just like they do like a puncture thing in the brain and that kills them instantly, right? So I think that, hit them in the brain with a spike, they're dead immediately versus making them bleed out and die that way. One's a little bit more nice than the other. Just like you don't fucking boil lobster when they're alive. Kill them first if you're going to kill them. I don't like that you're going to kill them, by the way. I don't know when it's like a serious thing now. Like I have loved lobster thing now so long on my damn channel that it actually became a fucking thing in my brain where I don't want people to hurt lobsters now. And I'm like, oh god, the meme became real. Like I'm sad if people eat lobsters. I don't want to see them eat lobsters. And so anyways, if you're gonna cook a lobster, kill it first, then boil it. Don't just boil it alive. Because that's torture. Don't need to do that. Don't eat a limb removed from a living beast. Why not? Like, what? I don't know. Whatever. Oh, there's this Japanese video I saw one time where like they cut a piece of the fish off, and the fish was still alive, and the person ate the piece of the fish as sushi. So does that count? I don't know. Don't slaughter animal and its young on the same day. Yeah, wait a day. Let that young, kill the adult in front of the young. Let the young see what's coming for it, or vice versa. But give them a day so that they can think about it. Not to take the mother bird with the young. So like I guess this is kind of like conserving nature to some extent, but it could be written better. But again, this is God, so whatever. Set the mother and bird free when taking the nest. Okay. Don't eat the flesh of an ox that was condemned to be stoned. Now you might ask, why would an ox be condemned to be stoned? Isn't that kind of stupid? And to it, I'd say absolutely. But it's in the Bible. If an ox doesn't work, you stone it to death. Don't boil meat with milk. Now, I don't know. I've never tried it. I've never actually put milk to boil anything with it. I've cooked with milk, like maybe for a cake, or I'm trying to think of when you would boil milk. Hot cocoa, maybe. But even then, I don't really boil it. Just heat it. I don't know that I would want to eat meat that's been cooked in water or milk. But maybe it has a good flavor. I don't know. I kind of now want to try it just to break this commandment. I'm not going to, but I kind of want to do it. Somebody out there eat meat that's been boiled in milk and let me know how it tastes. Now, I have some more questions. Like if you put it in a plastic bag and you boil it in the plastic bag and you're just using the milk to warm up the plastic bag, basically you're steaming the meat. That's what's cooking it. Did you really boil the meat in the milk? Anyways, don't eat flesh with milk. Man, they're really picky about that. Also, it's kind of cool that we've been drinking milk as a species for a hell of a long time. Don't eat the thigh vein, which shrank. Whatever. Don't eat the fat. Whatever. Don't eat the blood. I can agree with not eating blood. I don't know. Some people like it, I guess. Like it's its own thing. Ugh. Yeah, I don't know. Now, back in the day, like this made more sense than now. But now you can prepare it. Like you could cook it. Like there are blood pudding, or I don't know if it's actually blood that you're really eating or not. But yeah, I mean, there's reasons to not do that maybe today. But there's ways you could make it safe or safer to eat if you wanted to. I don't know that you would, but some people do. I don't know. Cover the blood of an undomesticated animals and of fowl that have been killed. Okay, whatever. Don't eat and drink like a glutton or a drunkard. And also not to rebel against father or mother. By the way, the penalty for doing that? Death by stoning. All right. Okay. Oh, shit. All right. All right. Hey, Nerdy Rodent, are you going to cook meat in milk and tell me how it tastes? You do that, right? All right. He'll totally do it. Yeah, that's part of that's why the other set of 10 commandments had that in it. Was same thing as this, like you're not supposed to do that stuff. Blood, part of why I hate eating liver. It's like eating coagulation. I like liver. You got to cook it right though. You gotta like put it in flour, and you gotta cook the shit out of it, and then it tastes good. And you gotta put onions in it, but like don't eat it fucking raw. That's just nasty. But yeah, cooking it, it's pretty good. I like it. It's yummy to me. But yeah, not everybody's gonna like it. We have different tastes. I get it. It's all good. Anyways, time for business practices. This should be fun. Do not do wrong in buying or selling. Well, fuck. I think that eliminates all of Texas's economy. Oh well. Don't make a loan to an Israelite on interest. Now, earlier, remember it said the aliens? I don't know if you remember that from way before, but you're supposed to give them interest when you do give them a loan. Aliens, so now I was making a joke that was like aliens from outer space, but I'm non-Israelites. So non-Israelites do give them a loan on interest. Israelites, no interest. Isn't that nice? Yeah. Don't borrow an interest. Okay. So don't loan and don't borrow because this would cause the lender to sin. Oh, okay. But what if they're not an Israelite? What if you're borrowing from a non Israelite on interest? Oh, but you are an Israelite. But that doesn't apply to the non Israelite. Okay, anyways. Don't take part in an what? What the fuck am I reading? Usurious what the fuck word is this? What is this word? Don't take part in. My brain went off. I swear, my brain turned off right now. Usurious. That's not how you say that word. What is this word? What am I looking at? Usury. What the fuck is a usury? They lend money at usury rates. Oh. Don't take part in any usury transaction between borrower and lender, neither as a sure fucking whatever the hell. What is that? What is this? A person who takes responsibility for another's performance of undertaking for like appearing in court or payment of debt. Okay. So don't do that. Or a witness. Or a wider the bond for them. Okay. So don't do any of that shit. Now, does that mean like you have every now and then you'll have to get you have to like go to the bank or whatever and get them to do the thing where they sign that they witnessed you sign something? What the fuck is that called again? Somebody in chat tell me what the hell that is. What the fuck is it? You know what I'm talking about though? Like, what am I talking about? You know, sign thing, witness thing. What is it called? Oh, like when notary. That's what it's called. A notary. Does that mean a Jewish person cannot be a notary person? Don't lend to a poor person. Fuck them. Not to demand from a poor man repayment of his debt. So wait, how do they have a debt if you're not supposed to lend to them? But if they do have a debt, then the creditor knows they can't, and if the creditor knows they can't pay, nor press him. So if they are poor and you know that they can't pay, then you're not supposed to demand that they pay. But we do that all the time. But you're not supposed to. So I guess that means if I go to a Jewish bank and I take out a big old loan and then I say I'm poor, they can't bother me about that money, right? That's how that works. Anyways, don't take a pledge. Wait, what? Not to take in pledge utensils used in preparing food. The fuck? What does that mean? Pledge of Allegiance? Let's see. Don't take a pledge. What the fuck? I don't know, man. Even the thing that said that it explained this doesn't explain it. So, where the hell was I? I guess that like a promise, like part of your contract. So don't use forks and knives that are used in preparing food when you're doing that. I guess I don't know, man. Don't extract pledge by force. Yeah, we do that all the time. Hey, you don't pay me? Guess what? You go to jail. Like the whole nation does that. Not to keep the pledge from its owner at the time when he needs it. What the fuck? What do they mean by pledge? What do you think they mean? Let's see. What does it mean? A solemn promise or undertaking. Pledge is a cleaning product made by S.C. Johnson. No, that's the wrong thing.
Law, a thing given as a security for fulfillment of a contract or payment of debt. Oh, okay. Return the pledge to an order. So it's like a down deposit. Like we don't do this hardly. Like here's my TV, and like I'm getting money for. It's kind of like I guess you go to like the pawn shop and you pawn the thing, and then like come back later and you rebuy your own thing for a little bit more money. It's kind of like that, I guess. Not to take a pledge from a widow, not to commit fraud in measuring. Don't do that. To ensure scales and weights are correct. Okay. Not to possess inaccurate measures and weights. I mean, doesn't that kind of go with it? I mean, yeah. All right. Holy shit balls. God damn. I pledge to you my wooden utensil. As long as it wasn't used in preparing a food, I think you're allowed to do it. But if you use that in preparing food, you're not allowed to do it. All right. Also, it might be talking about the thing that we clean with. Oh, God. Employees, servants, and slaves. Oh, God. I'm almost at 200. I can see it. Why am I doing this? Why? Why did I think this was a good idea? Oh, well. Not to delay payment of a hired man's wages. Yeah, that happens. Fun story. Oh, take a man. If you go off into a tangent, you'll be here for another. Shut up. All right. So I worked at this place as a janitor, right? And then the boss's boss came in. This is like my second day there. I'm like, oh hi, nice to meet you. I've heard nothing but good things about you. Yeah, the boss man here, he's really cool. You should give him a raise. Oh, it's just being funny, but also kind of like yeah. And then I went about my work, and then for whatever reason, like a little bit later on, I quit that job. I don't remember why. Whatever. Don't matter. Anyways, and like I'm like, oh, I need my last paycheck. And I call him, and like it happened to be like the boss's boss. And he's like, I'm not gonna give you that because you didn't sign the thing that says you're here. I'm like, you saw me there. You were there. You know that I was working that day. Oh, but you didn't sign it. And he gave me this runaround. I'm like, dude, I quit the job. I could, like, do you want me to sue you guys? Like, what are you doing? It's like, well, it's a lesson. You need to learn to sign and do the thing you're supposed to do. I'm like, dude, I quit the job. There's no reason for me to learn any fuck you. you know? Like, what the fuck, man? Power trip already. Anyways, we call that kind of person a Kevin nowadays. Uh, I guess. Anyways. But he definitely delayed my wages. Hired laborer shall be permitted to eat the produce he's reaping. Interesting. Hired laborers shall not take more than they can eat. All you can eat. Hired laborers shall not eat produce that's not being harvested. Okay. You notice a lot of these are about like fucking farming. My God, is that all they did was fucking farming back in the day? To pay wages to the hired man at the due time. Well, I mean, he just said that, but okay, whatever. To deal this fucking huh. Oh god, to deal judiciously with Hebrew bondmen in accordance with the laws pertaining to him. Well, yeah, I mean, what the fuck? Not to compel the Hebrew servant to do the work of a slave. So servant is different than slave. Not to sell a Hebrew servant as a slave, not to treat a Hebrew service rigorously, not to permit a Gentile to treat harshly a Hebrew bondsman sold to him, not to send away a Hebrew bondsman servant empty handed when he is freed from service, because they like make difference between like bondsmen and slaves. It's fucking messed up stuff, man. To bestow liberal gifts upon the Hebrew bondsmen at the end of their service, the same should be done to Hebrew bondswoman. Now, I'm just wondering, what if you're not Hebrew? Does any of this apply? No? Okay. To redeem a Hebrew maidservant, not to sell Hebrew maidservant to another person, to espouse a Hebrew maidservant, to keep the Canaanite slave forever. Beautiful. Beautiful. Just beautiful. I mean that is so beautiful. I mean, it's so good. It's so from God. You can tell that God made this law. It's just so well written. I mean, let's look at it. Let's look at it closer, shall we? Because I mean, we have to really we have to worship this. So okay, let me just hold on. I'm just getting emotional. Hallelujah. Such male and female slaves as you may have, it is from the nations round about you, that you may acquire male and female slaves, thus saith the Lord your God. You may also buy them from among the children of alien resident among you, or from their families that are among you, whom they begot in your land, and these shall become your property. You may keep them as a possession for your children after you, for them to inherit as property for all time. Such you may treat as slaves. But for your Israel kin, no one shall rule ruthlessly over another. Only the fucking aliens are slaves forever, in perpetuity. Thus saith the Lord our God. We have to have that in Texas schools in big giant print like they're planning to do with the 10 Commandments. This law must be displayed on billboards across America. Keep non Israelite slaves forever. And they're passed on to your kin and your children's children. And if the slaves have kids, they are slaves and they are property forever and ever and ever and ever. Thus saith the Lord your God. All glory be God. Yay for slavery. Slavery. Yeah. Slavery. Yeah. Woo! Slavery. Anyways, back to the reading. Just had to admire how amazing God is that he wrote that. Don't you think that's really cool of God? I don't know. It's just so beautiful and majestic. Just the most honorable and noble and wise thing that a Lord God Almighty that made heaven and earth has commanded the Israelites to keep non-Israelites as slaves in perpetuity from just generation to generation. Only a perfect being could do that. Gotta go out and do your yard work. Enjoy the rest of your live stream. Okay. Have I mentioned my admiration of this loving, perfect God that told us to keep slaves forever? Or I mean, non Israelite slaves. Keep those Canaanite slaves forever. Fuck them. Don't surrender them. Who has fled to the land of Israel, to his owner who lives outside Palestine. So now this is kind of nice. Like if a slave comes to like seek sanctuary, you're not supposed to give him up. That's kind of nice. Do they become your slave though? I don't know. Not to wrong that type of slave. I'm not sure if you're allowed to wrong other slaves, but not that one. Not to muzzle a beast while it's working in which produce which it can eat and enjoy. Not to muzzle a beast while it is working in produce which it can eat and enjoy. So don't muzzle them as they're trying to eat. Hey, I hit 200 and I didn't even notice. All right, my friends, my and etc's. Um, I think I need a break. So I'm hitting button
And I'll come back. I'll come back to this and finish reading and complaining about it and yelling about it later. Maybe not today, but I will do it. So I'll see you then. Yay!